G'day everyone, Erik here from RideWA. You're doing the 70-kilometre ride on Saturday the 7th of August as part of the Collie River Mountain Bike Marathon. Big thanks to Synergy and Parks and Wildlife. You need to watch this video because we're going to go through the course and tell you exactly what's happening where and what to look out for. Don't forget, Merida are giving away a dual suspension a mountain bike. All you need to do is be a part of the proceedings on Saturday and take part in the 25, 35, 50 or 70-kilometre mountain bike ride. So big thanks to Merida, make some great bikes and very good quality as well. So that is the overall course for the day. 70 kilometres, I'll change over the 70-kilometre map by itself in a minute, but you will be able to get water and food at Harris River Estate. That is less than 20 kilometres into the race. The next checkpoint, about 35 kilometres. Now with these distances, there's an email coming out that's going to give you the exact distances, so don't go exactly by what I'm telling you. About 35 kilometres, about halfway mark. For the 70 kilometres, water and food there and toilets, and there's toilets at the Harris River Winery as well when you come to the end of Rays Trail. Checkpoint 10, which you are looking at, must be around about the just under the 60 kilometre mark, and there's food and water there as well, and then obviously back in town. Couple of ambulances out on course. There is one at about the halfway mark, which is just at the end of the far lap part of trail. And there's a roving four-wheel drive ambulance as well, and of course a hospital in town. If you're doing the 70 kilometres, and we're going to work out where the cut-off points will, time-wise, will work out. But if you're not by that 35-kilometre checkpoint at a certain time and you're doing 70 kilometres, we'll get you to do the 50 kilometres instead. And if you don't hit checkpoint 10 down there by a certain time, we'll shoot you home as well. It just means you don't have a super long day on the bike. We want to get everyone home and in one piece by 3 o'clock, which means you need to average, 10 kilometres an hour. Which is achievable, and that's what most other events work off as well. Let's change. Right, here we go. So this is just the 70-kilometre route. This is the same map that you will find on the website, albeit that we are now following blue arrows because the blue arrows is the long course, and on the decision points, XL. So that is what we are following for the long course, blue arrows, but it is the same map as what you'll see on the Turramurra River website and also on the Facebook page, and what you get in your rider pack during the week in the emails. First of all, when you come into town, please park at the footy ground. You'll see where that is in the rider pack that gets emailed to you as well. But essentially, when you drive into town where the traffic lights are, you'll see the start line on the left, and then on your right-hand side is PCYC and Central Park. That's where registration is, and where the start line is, and the commentary trailer from RideWA is set up, plus Richard from Volt Cycle Services. If you have any mechanical issues, he'll be there during the day. So yes, drive up to the footy ground. It's only 2 blocks up from the traffic lights where the start line is, and park in there, make your way back down. It's only a very short walk or a very, very quick ride, and make your way down there. We will have some tables set up at the start line where we can ferry your specific bottles or food out to the roughly 16-kilometre mark, 35-kilometre mark, and about 60-kilometre mark. So there'll be 3 tables set up for you guys and girls that want to have your own nutrition out on course. There will be food and water for all the other punters, snakes, biscuits, water in big cans that you can just fill up your own bottles. So that's all out there. We'll keep you safe. Don't forget, when you are out on the course, if there's an emergency, call 000. If it's a life-threatening emergency, call 000, or get the Emergency Plus app on your phone. Really, really, really good to have that on your phone, and the quickest way to get emergency services out to you, because when you call from the app, it gives them your latitude and longitude as well. On the back of the number plates, you will see that there is an emergency contact number. So use that if it's not life-threatening, but we need to extract someone or someone's got a mechanical. We've got people all around the course that can get you, plus some moto scouts as well. So we will ride from the start line, and we're going to head out of town. We're going to head out towards the Mundabiddi. So there's a little bit of dirt track, a little bit of old bitumen road that heads for the first couple of k's out. There are some big potholes in the bitumen road as you head out. It's not really used anymore. It really is just an old access road, and we'll warn you again of that on the day. From there, you're going to hit some sandy stuff. When you get to the end of the bitumen road, there's a railway crossing. You'll see the cemetery on the other side of the road. There's a hard right there. You go down a sandy track for about 10 metres, probably not even 10 metres, and then you turn hard right again. So you almost double back on yourself and head out on the Mundabiddi. That will take you across Patstone Road and to Mornington Road. That whole section through there, you're looking at a good 4 or 5 kilometres. It is wide open fire trail, and it's ideal for you to get your position and get into that group that you want. If you want to be in that front leading group or that second group, you've got plenty of time to get yourself organised and get in there. When you get to the end of the Mundabiddi and you head across Mornington Road, you're about to hit a fair amount of single track all in a row. So you want to be in the group you want to be in and in the position you want to be in. If you're a good mountain biker, get yourself to the front. If you're a roadie and you're very quick but you're not great technically, let some of the faster mountain bikers in front of you, because otherwise they will be passing you through this single track and potentially getting quite annoyed if you're holding them up and their buddies are racing down the road. So Mornington Glory down there and Ray's Trail, and then turning back into the section of the adaptive loop. There are a few sections that are wide enough for you to pass very comfortably, and most of the way through there, if you do want to pass, just make sure you call out to the rider in front that you would like to pass. Rider back, rider behind, rider passing, let them know what side you're passing on. If you are in front and someone is behind you trying to get past and there's a gap in front of you, you're losing the wheel in front of you, just pull over, slow down a bit, let the faster riders pass on the single track. There's plenty of open trail down the track that you can catch up with them. Once you get to Ray's Trail, this is the course, parts of this is what we used to race on for the cross-country Olympic distance over the years. So some of you will be familiar with that. It is old school single track in Ray's Trail. It is tight, it is stop-start. It's busy is probably a good way to put it. It's not super steep. There are some descents, some climbs, plenty of berms, lots of logs to go over, lots of tight corners. So if you're a good technical rider, make sure you're at the front of your group going into Ray's Trail. It will make a massive difference as well if you know the trail, if you've been here and ridden it before. For the first time racing, we're going to ride essentially all of Ray's Trail from start to finish. Just before you climb back up to the car park at Ray's, we're actually going to double back on ourselves, use an old access road and drop down into Harris River Winery. So big thanks to Harris River Estate Winery. If you're with spectators, if you're with support crew, they can come out to the winery in the morning and have a look. So from the start to when the first riders will start popping out into the wineries, probably 8:35, 8:40. And we'll go through to about 10 o'clock for some of the tail enders from some of the slower riders. Once you pop out to the winery, like I said, there is a water stop there and also toilet. So if you have any issues or if you've got a mechanical, then there'll be some help there for you. And then you pop back out of the winery and head out along the back of Ray's Trail. There's an old fire trail there, and then up the access road. You'll ride back up alongside Harris River Road back towards the car park of Ray's Trail, and then pop across the road. There's an old fire trail, and that will link in to the Arklow Adaptive, or what was the start of the trail heading out to Harris River Dam, you'll follow that. That's all single track. There's a couple of sections that are fire road, so there are really wide open sections to pass if you want to, sprint around 6 or 7 riders. There are some really wide open areas. There is a power line that you ride down. At the bottom of that, you turn right. There is a big wet area down the bottom there. Just be careful through there. There's a big splash through. The water will be a good foot deep or so. And then you'll head up towards Harris River Dam. You'll turn, or you just follow that trail now, and that turns into Far Lap, and that drops down behind Ashcroft's Farm and opens up a bit. It's about the halfway mark, so 35 kilometre mark. There's an ambulance there, there's food there, there's water there, and then you head up to the top of Bullant and then down Bullant, up Arklow Road. So Bullant, it is adaptive single track, so it is relatively wide in most areas, isn't too hard to pass people on Arklow Adaptive, and also up Bullant. You ride down Bullant, then you've got a heap of wide open fire road for a while. So this section through here largely is where you make up that extra 20 kilometres over what you're doing for 50 Ks. A lot of it is forestry road, but there is some really cool stuff in there. So you're on the Mundibidi down to Arklow Road, you head up Arklow Road, that's a big open fire road, and then through this section here, that's old fire road that hasn't been used for years. Parts of it are almost as narrow as single track. It's very reminiscent of some of the stuff that we've seen in Cape to Capes and dwelling ups over the years. You then join up the Mundibidi again and pop down the bottom end of Arklow Road. Again, that's all wide open. And then you head down what's called Pet Cemetery. Pet Cemetery largely is just old fire road. Sections of it are quite narrow. It's very overgrown. So you will have plenty of passing opportunity there. There is another marshalling point down at the end of Pet Cemetery. There will be water there. There's going to be food there as well. If you're a slower 70k rider, that's one of the points that will pull you out after a certain timing cutoff, and the same goes at the 35 kilometre mark. For all the guys and girls that are riding at a decent pace, we're sort of going, if you're going over 10 k's an hour, you're going to be fine. So that's going to be most of you. When you get to the end of Pet Cemetery, you'll pop down to a creek crossing. Now that is going to be marked out quite well where the shallowest part is for you to walk through. Walk between there. You might want to lift your bike up. We'll do a bit of a video down there while we're marking out the course during the week, so you can have a look at that. But there is a creek crossing there. It's no worse than anything we've seen in Cape to Cape or at Carry Cup over the years. Then you ride back up the Mundibidi, and then you turn off the Mundibidi and cut across this block of forest here. It joins into what used to be Jared Jaunt, and you ride that backwards. And then you head down Railway Rise, and that's fire trail. That's all fire trail through there as well. This section through here, you pick up the adaptive course. So this is the same section that everyone does, 25, 35 and 50k, all ride down here. Some really good flow single track down towards the bottom of it. There is a section of fire trail right in the middle. At the bottom of that, there is a left-hand turn. It will be very well marked out, but very easy to miss as well. Then you cross the bridge that has the Mundibidi and Bibbulmun crossing, and you ride up some fire trail. We're going to try and get you on some single track through there as well. Right up the power line, and then you're back the Mundibidi, riding back in the way you rode out. So plenty of passing opportunities, some really, really great single track in there as well. It's a really good mix. We're really happy with the course. We're going to be out there marking with 4 or 5 of us from Monday onwards for the courses out in Arklow and also at Wellington National Park, the Sunday ride. Make sure to stick around for Sunday. That ride is going to be unreal. If you haven't registered for Sunday, when you're with us on the Saturday, you will be able to ride the Sunday. Just come and see us and register for Sunday. And there is some absolutely awesome stuff at Wellington National Park. So I hope to see you there as well. As far as marking goes out on the course, Every decision point where you split as a 70-kilometre rider from the rest of the field, be it at the start whether adaptive takes off or further down the course where you leave, whether 35 and 50 kilometres, there will be a big decision point. There's going to be barricading in the, like an S shape in front of it. You actually slow down, go through the barricading. You'll have this in front of you, and you need to be very aware you're following the blue arrows. You're doing the extra large course, which is 70 kilometres. So everything is there. It's the long course. You're doing the extra long course, 70 kilometres. You're doing 70 kilometres. You're going that way. You're following blue arrows. Make sure you take notice of these big A-frames. Obviously, out on course, you're going to be seeing arrows. That's your blue arrow. Obviously, the other colours are there as well. These are really important. Anywhere you're sharing the course with any of the other groups, you will have these. I've used a black marker on these, but we'll actually have your distance to go on these smaller boards, and also if this isn't where you're meant to be going, we'll actually have blacked out your arrow. So if you see one of these and the blue arrow is blacked out, that means that you're not on course. And obviously, if you've got a blue arrow and it's got a distance to go, yes, you are still on course. If you have gone somewhere that you're not meant to go, wrong way, go back. We're all familiar with those. And then also caution, danger ahead. Any technical section of trail, we will have that. We'll have that at the water crossing and so forth. If you are doing the 70 kilometres, as far as presentations go, I'll show you these. That's the winners' trophies. That is for two of our lucky competitors, fastest female and fastest male on the day in 70 kilometres. We're doing age group awards as well, and we thought we'd mix it up a little bit. We're not just doing medals and trophies for everyone. If you've come third in your age category, male or female, we have coaster sets. And they have none other than the Synergy Collie River Mountain Bike Marathon logo on there, 2021. Big thanks to Synergy and Parks and Wildlife. And then also these beautiful timber chopping boards. So that's for second place in your age group, and that's for first place in your age group. Now, if you're wondering, look, what if I win the overall? Do I just get a big trophy? No, you get a chopping board as well. How amazing is that? Plus, when you come across the line, you're going to get one of these amazing medallions. They're a finisher's medallion, and they are custom made for us, Synergy Collie River, made from wood, 2021 finisher. So you'll get those across the line. The other thing you need to know is we're doing rolling presentations. So not long after you finish, if you're the third place rider, we'll be getting hold of you and popping you up on the stage at Central Park. So the finish is on one side of the traffic lights, and the other side you've got the PCYC and Central Park, where we've got the event village and also the markets going on, the community markets. So we're going to be doing presentations up on stage unless it is absolutely bucketing down with rain, and we will cancel the markets and we'll be doing presentations either at the finish line or at the PCYC. Registrations you can do Friday night, Saturday morning at the PCYC as well. That'll be undercover if it is raining, and that's right next to Central Park. You'll see the banners and flags, so you'll be fine. What else are you getting? Don't forget as well, when you get your number plate, you'll get your mudguard as well. It looks absolutely fantastic. Just pulled these set of forks off my race bike, and only joking. They're a really nice old set of 1990s fast track forks. John Gregg and those sort of guys remember racing on those many, many moons ago. That's about it for me as far as I can think of. I'll see you on Saturday. Keep an eye on your emails. We'll be shooting out some more information to back up everything we've just talked about. Cheers, guys and girls.